Good morning, everyone. I want to talk to you today about vertical gardening, why we do it, why you should do it, what its benefits are, and how to do it. Vertical gardening can be as simple as a tomato cage or placing a stick in the ground and tying your plant up to it. It doesn't have to be an elaborate system that is expensive or hard to produce. What I've A lot of what I use here on the homestead is I use these. They're called cattle panels. I think they come in different forms, but the ones that I tend to buy are the ones they call cattle panels. They're inexpensive, $10 to $15 a piece or so, and they're nice and rigid and work really well for just about all the things that you want to put up in a vertical garden. Another reason why you may want to do some vertical gardening is to save space. For example, behind me, I have 3 spaghetti squash plants growing up the right side, and I have 3 butternut squash growing up the left side. Each of those plants would take 20, 30 square feet to grow on their own if I were to just devote garden space to them. But these cattle panels, if you do the math, they come out to 32 square feet per panel, and I've got 2 of them here, so that's 64 square feet of space, but you're also doubling that because you're growing on both sides. You don't have the ground underneath it. So that's really more like 128 square feet of space that I've opened up in the garden, and I'm only using 8 linear feet of row. I think it's really good value to get your plants off the ground. One of my favorite reasons to keep the plants going vertically is you keep the disease down. I've always had a lot of problem with my squash plants and powdery mildew, and now that I've started doing the vertical gardenings, it's really pretty much come to an end. I believe it's because there's a lot of the funguses and they just don't allow them, they don't get enough airflow to, sorry, I was pulling the weeds. They don't get enough airflow in the plant when they're on the ground to keep that powdery mildew down. So, another great reason, keep the diseases or plant health. Another great reason is harvest time. Can't get easier than this. My final reason is aesthetics. I just think it looks nice. So I'll take you around and show you some of the stuff that we've got growing vertically. So let's take a look at some of the different things that we have trellised here in the garden. Here we've got a little squash called patty pan, and really kind of cool little guys. They look like UFOs. And we also have standard acorn squash back here, just like you'd find in the grocery store. It's coming on, I think. I hope that's okay. I don't know. And we've got a good one here. There we are. I think that's a young one. Over here we've got butternut squashes, lots of them. Here we've got spaghetti squash. They are super awesome, doing really well. Over here we've got cantaloupes that I just put up today. I broke open a tomato cage and I started just bringing them up off the ground, being really careful as I teased them up and teased them through. This is going to really do good. I'd planned on just letting it grow, but since we kept all these volunteer tomatoes along the edges, I was getting worried about everything getting crowded. Here we've got our tomatoes in just a tomato cage, but I didn't make them big and square and take up a whole bunch of space. You can kind of see I've squeezed them down into a diamond shape, and it's really working out well. I'm really happy. Here I've got our pole beans going up a cattle panel between some of these round posts, Truthfully, I need to add another couple of feet onto this because these guys want to keep going and they have nowhere to go but over. You know, it's not the worst thing in the world because the bulk of the beans will be right up here on the top, but they'll also start crowding each other out eventually. A different way that I'm trying to grow beans this year is I've taken these cattle panels and I've bent them in half, and then I'm trying to just grow them kind of free form right in the row, just like this. Here's a different way to vertically garden. It's a strawberry tower I built at our old house. It's just 4 good quality fence boards I screwed together. I installed a piece of 1-inch PVC with lots of holes drilled into it to aid in watering. Then I filled it with raised bed mix and planted about 30 bare root roses, strawberries in each one. It worked well, but the watering system could be improved. The tops tended to dry out during the day. This isn't a definitive guide, just hope to show some ways to get your plants growing up. I would love to hear your ideas in the comments. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to see our posts as they come up. Have a great day. We'll see you next time.